All right, you legends. Today I want to show you some of the reasons why bike shops don't like for customers to bring their own parts. I have a customer who brought a bike in. He's a regular. He's come for other stuff, and I assumed that he knew what he was doing. But he dropped off a bin full of parts. I've taken it out of the bin. They're sitting down here. And so now I've taken the time to go through the parts because I've had this issue come up before. I'm going to show you one example. This bottom bracket, let's see here, let me get the light on it. As you can see, that's smooth, okay? I'm going to show you his bottom bracket that he purchased for the frame. As you can see, you don't need to be a genius to see that that's treaded. You can't put a treaded English bottom bracket into a smooth cage. He needs a press fit, but this is what he bought. And he was all excited and he was telling me, oh, I'm doing a one buy. It's going to be dub, all of that. The second thing I just found is the chain ring that he has. I don't know whether it was in his parts bin or whether he bought that as is. It's a 42T, but as you can see, it has nothing to attach it. It has nothing to attach it to his crank arm. One, we're going to need a new bottom bracket, and I am not going to have him source it. I'm going to measure the diameter of the bottom bracket shell with my caliper and order the correct dub press fit. So once they get to the shop, I don't spend time giving the customer the chance to get any additional parts. It wastes my time. And all of that time involved is going to roll into the invoice. So you really don't save money. If you don't know what you're buying, let the shop do it for you because you don't save money in the long run. So his bike is now going to go to the back of the queue and the other shop work will get in line. He bought a nice headset, Chris King. I want to make sure it fits. It's got a taper situation. It looks right, but until you mount it or you measure with a caliper, you're not 100%. So with all these issues, I'm checking everything before I even attempt to begin this project. I've since sent him pictures, letting him know you got the wrong stuff, whatever, and he has the option of having us source it for him, or he can get it himself. It doesn't matter to me. But now you're seeing why shops don't like for people to get their own parts. This is not going to work for him, so hopefully he can return it. I'm going to put it back. It hasn't been mounted, so there's nothing that should prevent him. But from looking at it, I think it's been sitting in his parts bin for a while. That's the bin he brought everything in. I've emptied it so he can pick it up. He's coming later to bring, because he didn't bring his chain and other stuff. So I'm going to query everything he brings in going forward because I had assumed that he was up to speed. Now you're beginning to see. So all this time that I've spent trying to figure out whether he has the correct parts or whatever, it's going to go on his invoice because it's very expensive being cheap. Had he just either contacted me ahead of time or just brought it in so I could source the parts, he wouldn't be paying for the time it takes to analyze what he bought and what he didn't buy. That's the kind of stuff. The other thing I'm going to be checking is to make sure that the cassette he brings, he's going to bring the cassette, will work on these are his wheels, they're used. You see the tires that he's got with that nice green color. I've got to make sure it fits on there, and I'm going to do it as soon as he brings it in because at this point, I'm not giving him the benefit of any doubt because too many things that should not have been missed were missed. But now you see why shops don't like customers walking in with their own parts. It slows us down. It hogs the stand. As you can see, the bike was on the stand. I would have put it together in a few hours. Now it's going to have to go. I'm going to have to hang it somewhere else in the shop and put another bike in this place. But he's going to pay for the time it took to figure out all of that. And now he's got to decide whether he sources the right parts, if he knows how to do it, or whether we do it. So it is expensive being cheap. So if you don't know what you're doing, it's better to just take your frame in and let the shop get the stuff that you need. Because overall, you end up spending the same money you thought you were trying to save.